Let's begin. Hello and welcome. I'm the Curmudgeonly Artist, and today we're going to talk a bit about what Curmudgeonly Works is. Now, Curmudgeonly Works is what I prescribe as my comic book projects, each of which overlap in varying genres of storytelling. While I do plan to go into further detail with these projects in future videos, I did want to give a brief overview of what I have. Now let's begin. First up is Callan, a comic book about the character of the same name, involving angels, demons, and monsters. It is a fun action-packed story where Callan exacts revenge against all of hell and beyond. It is also the one project that I'm currently at the illustration stage for, so I do plan to show some of his pages eventually. Next up is Project Chronos. This is the story that I envisioned as a trilogy, focusing on the sci-fi action horror inspired by the likes of Dead Space, Alien Isolation, and pretty much all the various popular horror stories seen in video games, movies, and TV shows. It's essentially my attempt at sci-fi horror with soldiers and zombies, and hopefully a dash of Lovecraftian inspiration within it. Next up is Basilisk. This is where how do I word this? This is where I get to tell a story with a love for fantasy, dragons, supernatural creatures, magic, and all the good stuff. But there's a ton of dragons in this one. Put simply, I took all the dragons I could think of and made a whole world out of them to tell a story with it. And I hope it turns out as fun as I think it would be. Next up is Ghost. This one is the post-apocalyptic story of monsters and men. It pushes you into the world of Vale, where humanity learns to survive amongst and against monsters that range from the size of a dog to the size of skyscrapers. Now, aside of the characters and monsters, the planet itself is as much of a character in its own right. There's tons of varying biomes, from lava lands to snowy landscapes to the ocean deep that I hope to touch upon in this one. Next up is Insane in the Membrane. This is where I try my hand at cartoons and come up with a funny story that involves the wackiest creatures, people, and events in the midst of a potentially world-ending threat. This one may be the last one I get to in terms of it being worked on, but it is always something fun to think about and come up with new ideas for. Now lastly is Files of 2300. This one is a saga that spans across the universe, focusing on heroes and villains in a superpowered sci-fi action adventure series. Even in this video, I can't quite explain the depth of work I put into this one, and I do hope to show you in future videos. Now you might be wondering why I'm talking about so many different ideas at once. Honestly, I've tried to put aside all projects and just focus on one. Yet that proved to be impossible when I kept coming up with ideas for my other projects all the while. With everything that I've written and mulled over in my mind, I want this to be one of many videos where I can talk about these projects while I chip away at the writing and illustration I plan to do for them. That way, people can imagine the stories I hope to come up with and follow along in this journey I'm currently in. Because in all honesty, there's no way in hell all of these comics are going to be made in a day. Now that said, welcome to my world building adventure. If you're interested in seeing the journey of the Curmudgeonly Works unfold, please do consider subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next video.